Hi guys, welcome to the player ratings, which finishes Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham 0. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. And welcome to the player ratings as Forest put on a display of sheer class against West Ham and bag the well-deserved 3 points. Forest was sensational today. VAR was against us. The ref was against us. Elanga's finishing was against us. But Forest did the job. There was some brilliant performances out there from the back all the way to the front. And this, for me, was one of the best performances I've seen Forest have since we've been back in the Premier League. I felt we were on the front foot. I felt the passing was exceptional. I thought the link-up play was brilliant. I thought the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi look completely full of confidence right now. Murillo, just... world class is probably too much, but you guys forgive me because I am right now on a high. Brandon, thank you so much for the £5. Absolutely beautiful. So happy at that display. You and me both, bro. And I'm sure everyone else in the chat as well. If you are over the moon at those 3 points, get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. We got 500 of you in here already. We need to be on 300 likes. Screw it. Let's show our happiness. Hit that like button. Make sure you've subscribed to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. I gotta say, I've probably aged about 10 years. Now, looking back at it, in hindsight, there was nothing too much to worry about. I felt Forest were in the majority in complete control of that game from start to finish. There was a couple of little moments here, the Felipe moment and what have you. But honestly, man, Nuno got it all right today. All right. And it's what I've been saying. Like, you just feel, you look at it. As I said to you, all the other YouTubers I've spoken to, they're like, how are you down there? Look at your front five. Look at Murillo. How are you guys down there? And we're still not complete. We still got Einar to come back in. We got Sangare to come back in. Bolly to come back in. This for me, what it feels like right now, for me personally, I don't know how you guys feel. It's just like the pressure release valve has been opened and we can just breathe a little. We can breathe a little. And for me, that's just brilliant. ODN, thank you so much for becoming a member. You're a legend. Look at that. The old bridge there in San Francisco is his profile picture. I'm just happy, man. Look, there's I don't know if it's the happy clap of juice. Let's just take a quick sip. Cheers to everyone. Let's do a little speech here. If you do want one of these bottles, exclamation mark FOCO in the chat, FFTV 10% discount code. Just raise your glasses, everyone. Let's take a second. Raise your glasses to an exceptional performance by Forest. Yes, it was stressful. Yes, I may have pooed myself a couple of times during that game. Yes, VAR are against us. But cheers to everyone. 2-0 to Forest. And that happy clap of juice has never, ever tasted so sweet. Ever. Stephen with the gifted. Thank you so much, buddy. Going to Rufus Kane, who is a legend of the channel as well. Let's get some glass emojis, just like the sixth has done there. Thank you so much for the gifted there. Okay, so let's talk through the game. As I said, the first half, it felt to me like it was going like 5 minutes of Forest, West Ham sitting very deep, and then a couple minutes of West Ham, and then it was kind of swinging back and forth. And that goal, Randoms with the gifted, thank you so much, buddy. You're way too generous. And that's gone to Hiss. Congratulations, Hiss. And it just went a bit back and forth. But at no stage really were Forest under duress, were West Ham throwing the kitchen sink at us or anything like that. It was very, very comfortable, apart from that one mistake by Felipe. But when he made that mistake, Murillo was there, one-on-one against Antonio, closed the space down, wasn't rash, didn't panic, didn't crap himself, and just tackled him. And that was it. That was their best chance. And then from that moment, because Forest have to make a mistake in a game, we know that. As Forest fans, we know it. From that moment on, the game just shifted for me. And the best thing is, what Forest under Nuno have been brilliant at, and no one can argue this with me, is getting that late goal in the first half. And that's exactly what we did. A ball got crossed in, I think, from Tavares, headed clear. Dominguez, calm. Jam, thank you so much for the 99 super sticker. Dominguez, calm, slots a ball in with a bit of pace to Taiwo. What does he do? He rotates and rolls the defender. And then he hits it clean. I think I said he shinned it in the watch along. I apologize, Taiwo. Clean finish with his weaker foot. Slots it in. 1-0 to Forest. Marky boy, thank you so much for the £2 super sticker as well. Get those super stickers in. Let's all celebrate as Forest get the win. Now, getting to half time, Forest come out on the front foot again. Brilliant play. And they should have scored. We should have scored so many. The other thing I forgot to say, in the first half, we missed some sitters. Morgan Gibbs-White shooting straight at the keeper. Anywhere else, it was in. I think the other one was a Langer. I can't remember if it was a Langer or not, but it might have been. I'm back. I froze. I'm back. So it just felt we were creating chances, but we just weren't finishing them off. Greg with the 6 months. Thank you so much. Rare afternoon in the pub and a win pub more often. Thank you, man. It's a fantastic thing. Second half, Forest dominate. Forest create yet more chances. And you start to think, is this going to be a classic Forest? Are they going to end up stealing one from us? And then when Phillips got sent off for a silly double yellow card, I don't know what he was doing with that foul on Morgan Gibbs-White. That released the pressure a little. But we cannot start the player ratings. And by the way, get your votes in. The link is pinned in the chat. Live vote. We cannot overlook VAR and the sheer and utter BS that it is. That is a stonewall penalty that got checked by VAR. They showed them looking at it in the VAR thing in Stockley Park, and they still did not give it. Sam, thank you for subscribing. There is 1,000,000% an agenda against Forest. I am so convinced by it. There's an agenda against Forest. I don't know what he needs to do. Maybe we won't get a penalty until Cornet whips out a chainsaw and chops off Nico Williams' foot next time. And even then, I'm not convinced they would give it to us. If you remember, go to the community tab, check that penalty incident and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And then West Ham's came out. We caught them on the counter attack. And Elanga misses one of the sitters of the season so far. And at that stage, if your balls haven't dropped before, they fell right through the ground. I'm telling you, he skied it high, wide and ugly. Well, it wasn't wide. It was just high. But then the composure. Yates wins the free kick. Sells pumps one forward. Origi does this chest into a back heel flick out wide into Nico Williams. He then flicks the ball around his man, gets to the byline, crosses in a low ball. Elanga fluffs his lines. Luckily, it's Callum Hudson-Odoi at the back post. And he was so calm and composed. Takes a touch. Loads of West Ham players going on the line. And he just slots it in the bottom left corner. And that's all she wrote. Forest win. I am just so happy. I am so happy, honestly. It's not just, it's relief as well, guys. It's relief. So let's get into the player ratings. There's 700 of you in here. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know you're happy with those 3 points. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And yes, let's do the fun bit now because this is a party player rating. Look at that beautiful scoreline. 2-0 to the Forest. Should have been more. Should have been way more. Get your votes in. We're going to kick this off right now into the player ratings. And let's start with Sells. Now, for me, I did not notice Sells whatsoever. And that's exactly what I want to see with a goalkeeper. I don't want to notice him. I don't want to feel like I'm stressed when the ball comes up to him. I don't want to feel like his kicking's going to make me panic. Nothing. Calm. No issues whatsoever. He didn't really have a huge save to make as well. And that's a credit to the two in front of him. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 because he didn't, honestly, am I wrong, guys? Did he have much to do? Did he have much? By the way, that's our first clean sheet under Nuno, may I add. And by the way, may I add, that's the first goal this season we've scored in injury time. Rosecode, thank you so much for the £5. It's way too generous of you. Needed that win, and that performance was so much better than Cooper Ball. 100%. 100%. I agree with Brandon. His distribution was decent. I'm sold on sell, says Wheezy. Mark, thank you so much for becoming a member. Keep those likes coming up as well. Now, let's see what you guys went with him. You guys gave him a 7.47. Ooh, is that a little harsh, guy? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's what you guys wanted to put on, then that's what you wanted to put on. Oh, crap. Hold on. I got to sort this out. Get these scores correct. These are the old scores. He is not a 2 at all. He was an 8 from me. And you guys gave him... Let's have a quick look here. You guys went with a 7 point, we'll call it 7.5. I'm rounding up on that one. I like him, but I'm still going to say I'm not sold on him because I'm sick of talking about goalkeepers. I don't think he's bad or anything. I just don't want any focus on the goalkeepers. And that's exactly what he was today. A non-eventer for me. So let's move on and talk about Nico Williams at right back. I thought attackingly, he was really good. The assist he got on that goal, second, fantastic. The skill to go around, the way he got into the box, should have had a penalty. Attacking wise, he was brilliant. Defensively, I thought kudos. He actually played really well against him and had him in control most times. 1 or 2 occasions, kudos did get in behind him. Nothing too much to worry about. I was really impressed in general with his performance, but I think he was better going forward than going backwards. He did, however, give away that silly free kick for Ward-Prowse, which was in a really dangerous position. But that aside, overall, I'm going to give him an 8. I think he was really good. I'm going to give him an 8. I think an 8 is quite fair for him. Still don't think he's the finished option we need there, but right now, he's doing absolutely fine. So I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. You guys give him exactly the same. 8 out of 10 for you guys as well. Fair enough. Fair enough. 8 out of 10. And he's got a good chance right now, guys, with Montiel being out, with Einar potentially who could come in at left or right back. He's going to have to start fighting. And this is what we need. We need competition on these places. And that's exactly what we're getting right now with the full squad coming back in. So it's good. I think that's the first time in FFTV history that we've both scored a player exactly to the T, the same score. So fair play to you guys. For once, you got it right. Okay, let's bring this beautiful image up on our screen. That is Felipe. Felipe, for me, was decent. Would I go as far as say sensational? Not quite. Let's remember he's not played many games. That mistake could have been costly. It really could have. But it doesn't matter. It didn't. Generally, I feel like he's probably half a yard off the pace. He was solid in the aerial battles. To be honest, he was solid overall. Lee, thank you so much for the £5 super sticker. Way too generous, bro. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to give Felipe a 7 out of 10. That mistake was too scary for me. Jam with the gifted. Thank you so much, Jam. And that's gone to Martin Clifford, the legend that is Martin. Martin, make sure you show him some love. So Felipe for me was a 7, and I love him. I love Felipe, and I actually like that partnership. It could blossom. I am happy with our centre-backs, full stop. Whatever the pairing is, I think they're all good enough. You guys have gone 7.3. Guys, we are not a million miles apart from each other today. We really are not. This is interesting. Okay, so I went at 7. You guys went at 7.3. All right, let's see if we can continue this trend. How close can we get to each other? Sean saying he said 7. Felipe comes in, we get a clean sheet, says Chaka. That's not a bad shout, Chaka. Is there anything in that? Maybe they were just taken by his looks, and like half the time they just spent staring at him. I mean, to be honest, even if Felipe made a mistake, he's Felipe. Who's going to argue it, innit? Okay, let's talk about this guy, man. Let's talk about Murillo. He's so composed. Truman Jace, thank you for becoming a member. I can't think of anything he did that should be knocking him off any points, to be honest. And the fact that he went above and beyond on Felipe's mistake and sorted that out. And there was this one ball that he did where he whipped this wide ball out to Callum Hudson-Odoi, like the most perfect 65-yard cross-field ball you've ever seen. He is just so good, man. He's so good. I'm not going to give him a 10 because you guys will probably have a go at me if I do, but he is pretty close to a 10. So I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I think that's the most composed performance from him. If you guys watch it back, when Antonio gets that chance, there is no panic whatsoever with him at all. Zero panic. Could you imagine, no disrespect to them, but a Yates or a McKenna or a Cook in that situation, knowing one mess up, he's in on goal, it's the goal. No panic. And he's what, 21, 22 years old? Gee, love him. 9 out of 10 for me. 8.8 from you guys. I'm sorry, that's harsh. That's a little harsh, guys. Just, if you haven't seen his performance. Oh, guys, we get to watch Match of the Day tonight. We should do a Match of the Day watch along. It's been a while since I've watched Match of the Day, man. It's been a while. But anyway, there we go. 8.8. Guys, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get to 17,250 subscribers. We only need 7 more. We're on 200 likes, which is fantastic. But we really need to be on 500. We all agree Murillo is magic, says Mark. What does he have to do to get a 10, says Brandon? He'd need a goal or an assist, bro. 10 is, you can't just give out 10s just because we're giddy and excited. We gotta be objective about these things, bro. We gotta be objective. But speak to the rest of your guys in the chat, man. They gave him an 8.8. You can't come at me. I scored him higher than you lot did. Okay, let's talk about Tavares. Now, I got slated last week, and remember my stance on Tavares. I don't like him. All right. My stance on Tavares is I don't like him. Rufus gave a few 10s. Giddy. You lot are all giddy, man. I am telling you, I can see... Oh, hold on, I messed that. What the... Oh, no, I just got to fix that score. I can see what Nuno was trying to do from last week with Tavares. And I told you lot on it. Sofascore gave Murillo a 7. Unsponsor it. Sofascore, we need to talk, guys. Not a 7. Anyway, Tavares is one. He's growing on me on my initial stance at him, right? Secondly, he suits Nuno ball. The way him and Callum Hudson-Odoi today were linking up, overlapping, underlapping, inverting, fantastic. The man can't shoot. The man needs to stop shooting unless he is literally on that goal line. Or he needs to use the inside of his boot rather than the outside of his boot. Overall, I thought he was really, really good because he creates that opportunity. Steve J with the £5 donation. Way too generous of you, Steve. Thank you so much. Look, if he didn't shoot, I reckon it's like an 8 out. I'm close to giving him an 8. He's like a 7.7. Soon you'll get a pet dog. I won't go that far. I don't actually like dogs. I'm gonna give him he's somewhere in between a 7 and an 8. He's like a 7.5 for me. 7.5. Just that shooting notches him down one little notch. That last shot, you're right, randoms, was closer. It nearly hit the target, and it did stay in the ground. I don't agree, Wolf. I don't think Tuffalo is better. I think for Nuno ball, I'm talking specifically for Nuno ball, Tavares does suit it. And I'm going to trust Nuno on it. You guys went 7.23. Okay, I did say somewhere between a 7 and a 8, didn't I? I think he's a 7.5. I'll let you guys off. 7.23, fine. We'll call it 7.2. I guess we're not a million miles off, but not bad. Power and pace going forward, says Pat. I think Nuno has better chemistry, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Ben, I fully agree with that. They seem to understand each other. I think I gave him a 7 due to shooting, says Bobby. But at least he's shooting, Bobby. Could you imagine under Cooper if we'd ever see these kind of shots, man? Can someone find out how... Someone check Sofascore, please. How many shots did we have? I think we had a lot on target as well as bad. Brandon with the £5. I'm giddy, but F it. I can't stop smiling. Come on, you Reds. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Thank you so much. You are too generous, Brandon. Thank you so much for the £5, bro. Okay, let's move on into the midfield. And again, we got to give a massive shout out to Nuno because Yates got dropped and he put in Danilo. And I thought Danilo was a lot more composed today. And his passing was decent as well. There's not too much he did wrong, to be honest. Yeah, I'm more a Cat fan, Thomas. More a Cat fan. Is he back yet? He's not back for me until he does those breaking runs past the front line, gets into the box. But really, because it was almost a double pivot with him and Dominguez, he can't really attempt to do that. I'm somewhere again the same with him. I'm like a 7 to an 8. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. He's way more improved on his previous games. I want to see more of the same from him. It's like 7.5 for me. 7.5. I didn't think him and Dominguez struggled at all in that midfield, by the way. Can I just add that in? So as a partnership, fantastic. Back from where, Wolfie? What do you mean? I've been here the whole time, Liz. His passing well. He passed well and should have been given his goal. Oh, yeah, his goal. It was a good shot. It was a good shot. Maybe I go up to an 8. Whatever. For the sake of time, let's see what you guys did. 157 of you have voted. Keep those votes coming in. The link's pinned at the top of the chat. It's free to do. And, of course, it's live. So every time you put your scores on, it's just going to add to the tally. So you guys have gone 7.7. I'll stick to a 7.5, I think. I think I'm being fair with the 7.5 on him. Let me just get this. Where the hell? You guys want 7.7. Keep those likes coming in while I just update the score sheet from what you guys have said. Let me get my score sheet updated. He's a 7.5 for me. And we can move on and talk about Dominguez. Now, Dominguez is just a good player, full stop. His work rate is ridiculously high. Did he come off? Did he come off in the end? I can't even remember. I was so nervous. I think he was better than Danilo. I think his passes were good. The assist was fantastic again for Taiwo's goal. He really did put that in with some pace. He did he? He always comes off because I think he works the hardest. And that's what I respect about him, is that he puts the shift in. He leaves nothing on the pitch. He's knackered. And that's what you want to see from the player. He's an 8 out of 10 for me. Because of, you got to give him slightly more than Danilo because of the assist. I thought the assist was fantastic. Again, a composed pass in. So he's an 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10. You guys got on 7.6. Mark went 8. Cujo went 7. Dominguez is brilliant, says Anan. 8.5 from Jamie Boy James. I'm okay. I'm not going to argue with it. I think we can all agree on one thing. We got the better end of the deal with the swap between him and Freuler. Let's all agree on that. And what a player. I still just think with him and Sangare as the two, it could be one hell of a pairing. I'm getting excited again about this season. It's just those points, man. It's just those points that worry me. Okay, let's move on into the front line and let's talk about Elanga. Now, I've said this so many times. Frustratingly good. Don't say the F word. My bad. My apologies. I don't know how to rate Elanga, man. I don't know how to rate him. He's got to score those chances. He really does. He's usually decent at finishing, but those chances were easier than some of the goals that he missed. So I'm going to stick with my statement of frustratingly good. I thought in general he played well. I thought him and Nico Williams linked up quite well on the right-hand side. I just think he wasn't composed enough with his finishing today. And it could have cost us. That one that he blazed over into the Trent end was bad, man. It was bad. And that one I'm sure it was him in the first half. He shot straight at the keeper. And then there's something that really annoyed me that there was another one, wasn't it? There was a third one where he kind of lifted his leg up when we had 2 men over and he couldn't put it in. So I'm at about a 7 for him. I'm about a 7 for him. He's not a bad finisher. I think that's what frustrated me the most today. He just lacked a little bit of composure in the finishing. His midfield play and his wing play was decent. I'm going to 7. You guys are going to 6.9. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, 0.1 out. I can't really take the mick out of you lot too much on that one. So I'm going a 7. You guys went a 6. What did you go? 6.9. Okay. 6. Do you guys prefer it when I put the mini scoreboards up there for those of you joining late? I don't know if it's helpful or not. Let me know in the comments if you're watching later as well. Let us know in the comments as well. Okay, so that was Elanga. And then Morgan Gibbs-White. Again, he should have scored. He really should have got a goal, man. I don't think it was his best game. I'm being frank and honest with you guys, as I always am. Couple of the silly little flicks and tricks. Dead balls were average. Apart from the one that we scored from, that wasn't given. It wasn't his best game. He got knocked around quite a bit. Work rate, fantastic. Probably a 7. Probably a 7. He should have scored, though. That's back-to-back matches where he should have scored. I probably would have changed him for Reina at some point, just because I kind of just want to see Reina. It is a 7 for me. He didn't have a bad game, but just a couple of little niggly things that stood out for me. 7 for me. You guys have gone 7.7 for Morgan Gibbs-White. Fair enough. I mean, look, what I will say is I don't really think there was a bad performance out there on the pitch. We now, because our team is so good, we have to be micro-analytical of our thoughts of the players, yeah? And that's exactly what we're doing. You guys are scoring well. I'll give you credit. You guys are scoring quite well today, so I am impressed. I'm impressed. What I'm not impressed with is that we've got 750 of you in here and 283 likes. That's not impressive. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We're only 6 subscribers away from 250. Well, 17,250. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, let's talk about someone who I think had a sensational game today, and that was Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, what I want to say is that I think and this is going to sound weird, I think he's playing better because Tavares is linking up so well with him. And I think those goals he scored, not in this game, but in the previous games, have actually made him more confident. Jam Adventures with a £2. Thank you so much. Love the attacking football under Nuno. Come on, you Reds. Jam, I love it, and I love you, man. Now, his finishing, as we said, if you go back and watch our videos when we did the scout report on Callum Hudson-Odoi, he is renowned for that cut-in finesse shot. Coming in from the left-hand side, finessing. That's why I like him on the left-hand side. I thought he produced some excellent crosses, some excellent opportunities that we didn't put away. And he was taking a few players on today. That's the thing that's been frustrating me the most with him throughout like his time at Forest, is I know he's good enough to take on players. Today I saw that. And why was he finding it easier? Because he had Tavares dragging a player out wide with him, or causing a player to mark him to create some more space for him. He's still, I'll add this, he's still not at his peak. At his peak, he is twice as good as his performance today, even though today's performance was brilliant. So his ceiling, what I'm saying here is his ceiling is way, way higher. And don't forget how young he is. It feels like he's been in the game for ages. What I will add as well, or maybe I'm going too far here, I don't know, but he is naturally one of the most talented players in the Forest squad. I'd say him, Morgan Gibbs-White, Murillo, natural talent is what he's got. He's got good natural football instincts. But coming back to today, brilliant. And the fact that he was composed enough to score that second goal, where if the roles were reversed and Elanga was there, I would have been worried. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10, guys. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. Hold on one second. What's this message? So for me, 9 out of 10 for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and well deserved. In fact, I'd go as far as to say candidate for man of the match as well. Let's see what you guys have gone. 8.7. I gotta say that's harsh. That's harsh. That's harsh. I know it's only 0.3, guys, but when we're getting to this nitty gritty stage where you've got to scrutinize a win, you can't be that harsh when the guy performed brilliantly. Some of you are saying 10. There's all the revisionism going on now in the chat. Some are saying 10, etc. Whatever. I'm not buying you because of the average is coming out at 8.7. But fine. 9 should be the correct score for him. Anyway, let's move on and talk about Taiwo, who, again, me being honest with you guys, I always am. I didn't think he had a good game. I still don't think he's match fit. He's definitely not fully fit, is what I'd say. But, you know, Origi is not someone you want to rely on. His goal, his finish was brilliant, and it was at the exact time we needed it. He actually, I thought he was better in the second half than he was in the first half. He started to turn Zuma around. Zuma had to foul him. You know, but he hasn't got 90 minutes in him. That's still clear. So I'm not judging him harshly at all because we know what we're going to get from him. He was a 7 for me. I'm taking out the match fitness issue now. I'm just judging it solely on what we saw on the pitch today. 7 out of 10. And I know he scored. But I'm not worried about him. Another 2-3 games. He gets back to full fitness. We're all happy. He's going to keep scoring. And that goal will do him the world of good. It will do him the world of good. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. Probably to you guys, that feels a little harsh. Simon saying goal gives him an 8. I get what you're saying. I'm just judging the general performance. And I'm not mitigating that he's not match fit. Makes sense? Fine. He did bully their defense. But for me, his first half, he wasn't really involved enough for what I would have expected. You guys got 7.95. I can understand why. I got no issues with that. Maybe I'm a little harsh, whatever, but it is what it is. So basically that's an 8. I'm going to round that up for you guys to an 8 out of 10. And what did I say? Did I say 7? I'll go 7. I'll stick with my 7. Okay. So that was the starting 11. Now let's move into the substitutions. Now, if again, I'm being objective on it, I do feel like we probably could have made a couple of substitutions a little bit earlier. Just a little bit earlier. So the first substitution was, where is it? It was on first. Origi for Taiwo in the 67th minute. So let's bring Origi on. Now, this is probably the only negative thing I'm going to have to say about this performance today. But Origi, he's just not very good. His flick was good. Let's look at the positives. His flick was a little bit too Morgan Gibbs-White like for me that he got to Nico Williams. But he just, yeah, if he's going to be the backup for Taiwo currently, I don't feel confident he's going to score the goals. He's a sub 5 for me, as in a substitute. Remember, the average score for a sub is a 5. I'm going to give him an average score. He did give away a stupid free kick, Rufus. You're right. Right. He's a 6, but because he was a sub, I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 if I can find the damn button. So I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Am I being harsh? Maybe. Whatever. It is what it is. It's 5. Let's see what you guys said, though. 6.4. Interesting. I'm seeing a lot of you typing 5 and 6s in the chat. So for it to be a 6.4 average, a lot of you would have gone like an 8 or a 7, something like that, to get that up. Okay, so after Origi, it was quite another late sub in Ryan Yates. Let's bring Ryan Yates up. Yates, for me, that's his role in the team. That's his role in the team. Come on. Excuse me. He gave away a silly free kick. He won a free kick. That's what you expect from him. From his free kick, we got the second goal. I like him in that role. I like him in that role as a sub. He breaks up at that stage of the game. That's what you want. You don't want the game to flow. You want the game when you've got the lead to be broken up, waste a little time, etc. That's his limit and that's his role. I like him in that scenario. I actually think from the subs that came on, he had the most impact. In a positive, mostly positive, but sometimes in a slightly negative one today. But overall, it was positive for me. I'm gonna give him a 6. So he's above average sub score for me. 6 out of 10. He won the free kick that sells pump forward. Fine. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right, ODN. The goal. Nah, I've got to score him down for that. I don't know what he was doing with the first minute of the game. You're right. You're right. Yeah, and you guys are right. When I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. I don't know what he was doing with Danilo's goal. You're right. You're right, Ryan. I forgot about that. You're right. I forgot about that. My bad. I don't know what he was doing there. He didn't need to get involved. Ariola was putting it into the back of his own net. I stand corrected. I'm going to 5. You guys gone 5.7. Simon, don't say I'm too Jerry. You guys gone 5.7. Maybe a lot of you forgot about the disallowed goal. It's not really fair to blame him for losing us a goal. It should have been allowed. I don't know what it got disallowed for. I think it got disallowed for offside. That's what I think it was, not for a foul. My gut instinct says offside. With the corrupt refereeing we're seeing, I don't know why it would have been disallowed. There's all kinds of weird reasons. Anyway, so that was Nico Williams. And then, sorry, not Nico Williams, Ryan Yates. And then Omar Bamadeli comes on for the last couple of minutes. I didn't mind this as a substitution. As a player, didn't see much of him. I think it's tactically the right thing done there by Nuno. I'm just going to give him a 5. I don't think he got too much of the ball. So I think it's just a 5 from me. Whereas it was only like, what, a minute or two that he got? Something like that. You guys gone a 5.86. Don't know where you got the 8.6 from, but whatever. That one should be a 5 because that's just a sub, right? Come on, guys. Figure out the rules. Okay, let's talk about the fun stuff now. Let's talk about... We don't talk about Nuno, but on this channel, we do talk about Nuno. Nuno Espirito Santo. Our manager, my manager, Nuno. What are you guys saying about Nuno? How good was he today? And the passion as well. He got booked after that ridiculous decision not to give us a penalty. I think he got nearly everything absolutely spot on the money. Now, I'm talking team selection. Dropping Yates. Big call. Big call. All the Cooper cultists, that comes as part of their deal is Yates being in that team. He dropped him. Goes attacking. There's one thing selecting the right team. The second thing is getting the intent of the team to play on the front foot. And that's exactly what we saw with Nuno. That team played sensational football today. My one thing I will say against Nuno that I'll mark him down on, I feel like he's getting a bit later with his subs. I think I would have done the subs slightly earlier. Now, it doesn't matter. We won. But it just felt that some of them are getting a little leggy. Maybe he could have switched Morgan Gibbs-White on for Reina, something like that. I don't know. I don't really care, right? But I'm looking at this objectively. Night and day, the style of football we play under Nuno is so much better. And guys, we still have not got our full squad till next week. So huge, bigger. I'm giving him a 9. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. 1 mark off for later subs, but we won the game. So maybe if he'd made those subs earlier, we could have lost it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just looking at it with hindsight, with objectivity. That's all. 9 out of 10. Brilliant. 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 And I keep telling you guys, what we're getting told from like sources within the club is that when Nuno speaks, they listen. Not just the players, the staff as well. He doesn't need to raise his voice when he's talking. There's this aura around him of respect that everyone's got for him, right? In the club, everyone. We're not seeing any players being banished. We're not seeing any of this. There's this pure and utter respect for Nuno. He commands a room when he talks. He's a 9 out of 10 for me. Well done, Nuno. You guys went 8.8. Little harsh. Gotta say, a little harsh. But everyone is entitled to their say on this channel. All right, let's do the fun stuff. What are candidates for man of the match? Murillo goes in there, 100%. Is Murillo double L or single L? It's double L. Who else do you guys want? Who else do you guys want? You guys are going to want Callum Hudson-Odoi, aren't you? You guys are going to want Callum Hudson-Odoi. Who else do you want? Who else do you want? Who else do you want? So, give me other names apart from him. All right, Dominguez. Some people say Nico. All right, we'll put Nico Williams in. We'll put Nico Williams in. A few of you going for Dominguez. All right, we'll put Dominguez in as well. We'll put Dominguez in as well. Dominguez. All right, let's have the fun with this then. Get your votes in. So, first choice will be Murillo. Second choice, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Third choice you've got is Nico Williams. And fourth choice is Dominguez. I'm literally giving you 60 seconds. You can see the poll in the live chat now. Get your votes in and let's see which way this is going to go for you guys. So who is going to be man of the match? This is the question that everyone is asking, that everyone wants to know. Who deserves man of the match when the whole team put in a sensational performance like that? At the moment, your front runner is Murillo with 52% of the vote. Second is Callum Hudson-Odoi, 31%. Nico Williams with 12%. And Dominguez on 5%. Over 100 of you have already voted. You got 30 seconds as they approach the final furlong. Murillo has a clear lead at 52% of the vote as Callum Hudson-Odoi slowly claws it back to 33% of the vote. He has 1/3 of the votes currently. It's getting a bit closer. Murillo drops back a little as he loses a little pace. He drops into the 40s, 49%, 32% with Callum Hudson-Odoi, 14% with Nico Williams, and 5% with Callum Hudson-Odoi. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds because I don't think my voice can last this any longer. You have 5 seconds to get your votes in. Your man of the match as they come over the finish line with a massive 49% of the vote goes to the Brazilian beast that is Murillo. Guys, what a performance. What I've enjoyed that player rating as well. This has been a bit of a party player ratings, I have to say. Chris, thank you so much with the 11 months. You Reds just got back. Murillo deserves it 100%. I will have to say, I wholeheartedly agree with your rating there on Murillo as man of the match. So, fair play. I'll give you a lot of round of applause in the chat. You guys did a cracking job today. Your player ratings were good for once. So well done. Well done on that. Carol saying hard to pick a man of the match. If we're struggling with man of the match, usually means we played really well. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys are arguing, aren't you? Viking saying Nico was his man of the match. If you just tuned in, it's not Storage Wars. Does that show still go on? Anyway, guys, I've really enjoyed it. I need to go get some food because I'm starving. Do me a massive solid, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. If you haven't had a chance yet, please do download Sofascore. It helps the channel out so much. It's completely free to do. And honestly, their stats on Forest are phenomenal. Look, we may do a call-in later on. Grumpy Old Reds will be tomorrow night. But the key message from me is that pressure valve has just been released a little bit. We now build on this. Roll on Villa away. This is going to be a real test. So go enjoy your evenings. We would get to watch Match of the Day tonight as well. That's a rare occurrence. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. One final reminder, subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And I feel at ease. We'll see you on the next stream. Come on, you Reds.